Hi everyone, welcome to Keeping It Spiffy with PFH Prevention. Are you interested in change? In this podcast, we will talk about the strategic prevention framework and how it can teach groups of people to enact change throughout their communities. Join us to see how you can make a difference.
Hi everyone, my name is Kylie and I am a crisis counselor at Preferred Family Healthcare in the prevention department, and I am with
Edward Mears. I am with the C2000 program at Preferred Family Healthcare.
Yes, so thank you for tuning into our podcast. This is the Keeping It Spiffy podcast, and we hope that you guys learn a lot and it'll just be a kind of a conversation. So if you just stick with us, we'll ask questions, we'll talk about spiff, what it is, what all the components are, and it'll be a very fun time. So to start off, we're going to do kind of a get to know us segment every single time. And today's random question is, what is a super fun story of your past that you can share?
Super fun story.
Or like, what is something that you did as a kid that was really funny? Like I have a really funny story from my childhood.
Oh, let's hear it.
Okay, I'll go first then. So there was one time where I was skiing with my family, very outdoorsy family. And I think I was probably like 4, and we were on top of the biggest hill possible. And there was a black diamond right in front of us. I didn't know how to ski. I was still skiing on the kiddie slopes with like someone holding my hand, and my family wasn't paying attention to me. And I went down the black diamond, and my mom kept yelling pizza at me, but I didn't really realize what pizza was. And then she had to like lunge to get me, and we like tumbled a little bit down the hill and then had to work our way back up. And she was really mad at me, but it was terrifying.
Now, that sounds intense.
Yeah, it was intense.
I remember the first time I ever went off a ramp on a bicycle. I lived in a little bitty town. I think the population was like 27. And there was a chunk of concrete that was heaved upward. And so I went like a block away and I just pedaled as hard as I could. And I hit that chunk of concrete and I went flying. And I remember looking straight down and seeing the ground flying past me and realizing I'm in the air. But what I didn't do was think, oh, the ground is coming up. And so when I hit the ground, I flew off the bike over the handles and everything.
That's terrifying.
I got up and did it again.
Of course you did. Typical Edward move. Just kidding. Cool. Well, like I said, every single week we'll do something a little fun to start our episode off. But this week is just kind of a what is spiff week, and Edward is our expert here, and I will be asking a lot of questions trying to figure out what spiff is along with the rest of you guys. So, Edward, do you want to tell them what spiff is, or what does it stand for, kind of the basics of it?
So we call it SPF because it's just in the abbreviation for the Strategic Prevention Framework. And so we just always call it the SPF. It's kind of a habit. Not really a good habit, I guess, for teaching new people what it is. But it's a framework that we use. It's a model that was created by SAMsa, and we use it to plan, assess, and try to help communities create change that is focused through an actual strategic plan.
So you mentioned SAMsa. What is SAMsa?
So SAMsa is the government agency that handles all the mental health and treatment grants throughout the entire United States. It is a huge organization. They give out millions, hundreds of millions of dollars a year to communities and government agencies and things like that to help just keep a lot of programs that people aren't aware of going.
Yay! Yeah. What are some of those programs that you guys have? Like, what do you guys use spiff in for your everyday work?
So for my work specifically, I work for what's called the Community 2000 grant, which was created a very long time ago, around 2000. And it was with the idea of creating over 2,000 community coalitions in the state of Missouri across all the counties. And the name just kind of never changed, but after they saw how successful the grant was, they just kept it going. And so we still call it C2000, but what we do is just basically work with grassroots community coalitions, the volunteers, the people, the groups in these towns that are trying their hardest to reduce substance use, to try and protect kids and build protective factors and things like that. And what we do is we go in and we teach them the SPF, the Strategic Prevention Framework. We help them understand the components of it, which are to assess and to assess their basically their community, what they have and don't have, to plan and build capacity, how to implement and evaluate all their strategies.
Okay. So say I wanted to get involved with my community and learn more about SPF, where could I do that, or how could I do that?
Well, you can always call us if you're in the northern 27 counties of Missouri at 660-665-1962 and just ask for prevention. And we would definitely get you connected with someone that could help. And if we aren't in your counties, we'll get you directed to the person that can.
Yeah. So you talked about how you guys have it in your jobs and your prevention. Is SPIF only in prevention jobs, or can it be in other places like schools or hospitals or kind of
this? The SPIF itself is generally used in prevention, but it's a strategic planning process. It can be used for anything. You can use it to plan a wedding. You can use it to run a business. Yeah, I mean, anything that you're trying to, any goal you're trying to achieve, you could use the SPIF to do it. There are a lot of other models out there, but it's pretty versatile. There are components of the SPIF that are specific to prevention, but they still can be used for just about anything if you want to make a strategic, well thought out plan.
Okay, noted. You mentioned earlier that the goal of Community 2000 that started in around 2000 was to create about 2,000 coalitions in the Missouri region. How many coalitions did you guys start with SPIF?
So I've been doing this for just about 5 years now. And in our 27 counties, I believe we have 18 or 19 coalitions that we work with and help use the SPIF.
Cool. If I wanted to start a coalition and didn't really know like how to do that, how exactly could I go about that? Do you guys have a place where I could find information on any of that?
Yes, we actually just started a website. It's brand new. It is www.pfh.org/prevention.
Cool. I'll definitely be sure to look that up. So is there kind of a limit on what I can start a coalition on? And like, if I wanted to reach out, is there a specific topic, or can it be anything that I am passionate about in the community?
Well, a coalition is a pretty generic term for any group of people that get together with a common cause. For me specifically, if I'm working with you, then it's to reduce substance use. But I mean, there are community groups that are called coalitions that get together to help improve healthy eating habits. There are ones that get together to improve vehicle safety in their towns. It always starts with a problem, a situation, or something that people are trying to resolve, trying to improve on, or trying to reduce the risk of. And it always just starts with people that want to help, and if you're in a group of those people, or you know of a group of those people, then we can come in and help you reduce substance use or work towards, healthier decision making, stuff like that. So there are lots of, coalitions, task force, community groups that we don't even know about. And, we're always trying to get connected with them.
Yeah. Do I need a lot of money to start this stuff, or can it just start off kind of as ideas and like build from there?
A lot of people who start coalitions have no money. They just volunteer their time. They reach out to community organizations for donations or to help them get things going. You'd be surprised how many organizations are just out in their community donating money, donating resources and time that really help these activities and stuff go off without a hitch.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Well, do you have any more for this episode this week of kind of what SPF is? Do you have any advice for anyone?
One of my advice would be just to listen to the next podcast, because we're going to go in depth on the assessment portion, which is the first of the 5 steps. So, and it's a key step, and it's a step that you go to over and over again. So you can't skip the assessment portion. So
yes. So essentially it'd be the key to a locked door in order to find out more about SPF.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that was a great transition. Thank you, Edward. But yes, so this was our first episode. Be sure to tune in to our second episode on what the assessment process is with SPF model, and make sure to keep it spiffy. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us for today's episode on Keeping It Spiffy. Make sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and Twitter at PFH Prevention. If you want to connect with us, feel free to email us at moprevention@pfh.org or check out our website at pfh.org/prevention. See you next time.